Anthony Ornella with the Drive Planning Knowledge Center. Today we're going to discuss the private reserve strategy. The private reserve strategy is an element of our overall financial strategy that we implement for families and businesses for a variety of reasons. And today I'm going to break it down because there's been a lot of questions specifically of what is this private reserve strategy? Well, to give a visual, the private reserve allows you to become your own bank. Now that sounds interesting and crazy, but the fact of the matter is everyone is saving money in some capacity. And if you're not, you should start. But if you're currently saving any kind of money, and that's in your 401k through your company, if that's through a separate brokerage account, is it just putting money away in a savings account, if it's planning for college, it doesn't matter what your savings vehicle is. Everyone knows that saving for the future is important, but it is how you save for the future that dictates your true success or not. The private reserve strategy allows you multiple benefits along the way. One of the biggest ones is control of your money. It's vitally important. If you're stocking your money away in things that you do not have control to, what is the point? If your money is at risk to any factor not within your control, that's a bad deal. If someone else can say something, if someone else can make another decision, if something out of your control, like an earthquake, a tornado, a car accident, any of those things, and that can destroy your money, it can destroy your savings, that is also not a good deal. The reason that we save is to protect our future or to get to that goal. Okay, so for basic purposes, you're going to contribute money into this tank, into your private reserve over time. And that's going to build and build just like any other thing, just like any other account that you may have. This is going to grow. Now, the benefits of the private reserve strategy is you are guaranteed some percentage of growth. You're guaranteed some kind of competitive guarantee. This isn't just a 2 to 3%. Okay, that's not even keeping up with inflation. Let's get that out of here. We're talking 5 to 10 to 12%. Okay, we're talking a very big range, and all these percentages, that's going to be based off of how you structure your private reserve. So we're talking a very, very competitive rate of return, and that's what we're looking for, something that's protected and guaranteed through the process. Okay, so guaranteed growth is big, and access and control are big, because if you're going to put money in, you want to be able to capture that money as well. Now, I'm going to go to the next page here, and then we're going to redraw the tank. Now, here's a big thing that you have to understand if you want to be truly successful at using the private reserve, and that is the idea of leverage. Leverage is the king. Cash flow comes from a lot of different ways. Cash flow is passive income generated without you really working at something. This tank will generate passive cash flow, but cash flow is king. Cash flow gives you good income, but it's how you utilize that cash flow that really makes the difference between the well-off, the successful, and the ultra successful. And so truly understanding leverage, and then we'll get to the next part next. So you have built up your tank. You've built up your tank with however much money. It doesn't matter how much is in there. What is a lot of money is such an arbitrary statement when you talk to a variety of different people. Is $250,000 a lot of money? To some people, yes. To others, that's just another day. Is $5 million a lot of money? Again, that depends. If you talk to a billionaire, it's just another day. So keeping the idea of what is a lot of money. So what is the contents of this tank? It doesn't matter what the contents of this tank are. Obviously, if you have more, you can do more. But the ability to use that money through leverage is something that is common. Doesn't matter how much money is in there. And so being able to leverage the money, and what that means is the money never draws down. It just gets temporarily held. So what you have is you have a collateralized loan from this money. So just like if you're buying a car and you get a car loan, the bank has first rights to that car if you stop paying for it. This financial institution that you've structured your private reserve through has first dibs on that portion of the money that you're borrowing. So let's just call it $50,000. $50,000. So if you don't make payments on it, if the internal growth in this can't cover the cost of that $50,000, then they have first rights to take care of it, or they have first rights to get the money. But when you're using the leverage correctly to go after things, this leverage can then move into multiple fronts. And so you can use this for fun or retirement or college. Okay, it doesn't matter what you use it for, right? It doesn't matter. But where you really start to get the advantage, leveraging, being able to understand how leverage works is a big portion of the private reserve strategy. But the really big wealth building aspect is velocity. So the three big factors when it comes to the private reserve strategy are cash flows is number one. Cash flows at the crux. Leverage, its appropriate use of that cash flow. Leverage is phase number two. And the last is velocity. Now, what is velocity? Again, let's draw that private reserve again. Draw this. And again, we've done. Okay. We've got that collateralized loan. Now, velocity is being able to take that same dollar, take it, and make it work for you over here, where you're going to get some kind of growth and benefit. Velocity of money is about how many jobs can you make the same dollar do. So the private reserve strategy, you can have a private reserve by itself. But when we're talking about a strategy, this isn't a product conversation. This is a strategy. This is a strategy conversation. Building it so you get that cash flow of internal growth consistently, guaranteed, month after month, year after year, you know it's going to grow. Being able to use it appropriately for things, but then being able to leverage portions, if not all of it, to create velocity of money. And ideally, this investment opportunity can then be leveraged further. And so you have that same dollar doing 1, 2, 3 jobs for you. It's being used in an investment. It's going to increase its value. It's being then leveraged further out of that investment to increase its dollar amount. And then internally, it's going to grow. That is velocity of money, making that same dollar, $1, be in 3 places all at once. It is not something that is simple. It's not something that comes intuitive. But when we talk about the mega wealth and when we talk about the ultra affluent, these are the strategies that they use. They build their money and know that it's always protected within their private reserve, and then they leverage the funds out to increase their velocity of their dollar. Inflation can't keep up with this at all. This is outside of any kind of geopolitical risk in all of these when done correctly and when partnered with the right people. Cash flow, leverage, and velocity. When we talk about the private reserve strategy, those are 3 key aspects on, again, whatever you want to use this for. Okay, this is a wealth building strategy that is used by very, very wealthy people time and time again. And again, we talked about it in the last one. What is a lot of money? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what a lot of money is to you or to the person to next to you. It is all about being able to use every dollar efficiently for you. So again, this is the Drive Planning Knowledge Center. This was Anthony Ornella bringing you some more information and again, breaking down the 3 components to the private reserve strategy.